Counting on alum Joy Anna Duggar Forsyth has been making headlines after appearing in the Unplanned podcast. The 26-year-old mom shared many things about her life and her family. One of them was how Jill and Duggar's books affected everyone. However, what caught the attention of many was Joy Anna opening up about the misconceptions about her parents. Keep reading to see her statements. Counting on Joy Anna Duggar shares major adjustment after Jill and Duggar's books. One of the things Joy Anna discussed in the Unplanned podcast was how Jill and Duggar's books, Counting the Cost and Becoming Free Indeed, affected the family. According to the former Counting On star, the books put their parents in the hot seat for months, bringing so much negativity to their family. My siblings and my parents and all the stuff was super hard at that time, she added. However, Joy Anna clarified that it also gave her a new perspective about her beliefs, strengthening her faith. Joy Anna talks misconceptions about parents. Aside from the books, Joy Anna also discussed misconceptions about her parents. According to the Counting On alum, there have been speculations that Jim Bob Duggar controls everybody's social media accounts, which is false. She added that they've been a happy family, and all the misconceptions about their parents being abusive are not true. Austin chimed in and said that the rumors about them not being happy in their marriage were false. He also called out people who keep assuming Jessa and Ben are struggling in their marriage, saying they'd believe anything online nowadays. Many fans also commended Austin and Joy Anna Duggar Forsyth for speaking up. My respect for Joy and Austin went up exponentially after watching this. Much respect for Joy opening up and sharing. She doesn't have to. God bless them always. People basing your lives off of a 30-minute YouTube video or an IG picture is wild. Love you guys and your family. Counting on Joy Anna Duggar shares terrifying story about Austin. Joy Anna also shocked viewers after opening up about Austin's terrifying accident. According to the Counting On alum, they were still courting back then when Austin totaled his truck. She was so worried that she held Austin's hands for about 15 minutes, which is not allowed during courtship. Joy Anna even said Jim Bob got upset seeing his daughter holding Austin's hands. If you are looking for more Duggar family news, come back to TV shows Ace for all your updates. Joy Anna Duggar, a member of the well-known Duggar family from the hit series 19 Kids and Counting On, has recently opened up about some of the misconceptions surrounding her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. As part of one of America's most scrutinized families, Joy Anna has spent much of her life under the watchful eyes of both the public and the media. Over the years, as her family has dealt with fame, controversy, and shifting dynamics, the portrayal of her parents has been subject to intense public debate. Now, Joy Anna is setting the record straight and giving a more personal perspective on what her parents are really like, challenging many of the misconceptions that have been formed about them. For those who have followed the Duggar family's journey, these insights offer a rare, intimate glimpse into what it was like growing up in a large, conservative household, and how much the public's perception differs from the reality. The misconceptions. As the Duggars became household names, their conservative values, large family size, and unique way of life invited both intrigue and criticism. Much of the public's perception of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar has been shaped by their adherence to their strong religious beliefs, their use of strict parenting techniques, and their controversial stance on topics like education, gender roles, and courtship. Some have viewed the Duggars as controlling, overly strict parents, while others see them as an example of strong moral conviction and family values. However, Joy Anna believes that much of what people think about her parents is rooted in misunderstanding. In a recent conversation, Joy Anna talked about how the portrayal of her parents in the media doesn't capture the full picture of who they are as people and parents. Joy Anna's perspective on her parents. In discussing her upbringing, Joy Anna made it clear that her parents are far more complex than the one-dimensional caricatures often depicted in public discourse. To Joy Anna, her parents are loving, supportive, and genuinely concerned about the well-being of their children. According to her, Jim Bob and Michelle's approach to parenting was always rooted in love, and their decisions were made based on what they
One of the
believed was
biggest
best.
misconceptions,
Joanna says, is that her parents are overbearing or controlling. She acknowledges that their rules and lifestyle might seem extreme or even harsh to outsiders, but to her, those guidelines were always presented in the context of love and discipline. Joanna emphasized that growing up, there was a lot of room for conversation and questions in their household, despite what the public might assume about their rigid structure. Joanna also pushed back against the idea that her parents were motivated by fame or used their children for the spotlight. She explained that her parents were cautious about the media attention and always tried to maintain their family's core values, even as their lives became more public. Their decision to be on television, Joanna says, was driven by a desire to share their faith and way of life with others, not to exploit their children for fame or money. Family dynamics and open communication. Another point Joanna stressed was the open line of communication her parents maintained with their children. While some viewers may have seen the family's structured lifestyle as rigid, Joanna revealed that there was always room for individual expression and conversation within their home. People think that because we had so many rules, we weren't allowed to have our own thoughts or speak our minds, Joanna shared. But that's just not true. My parents encouraged us to ask questions and talk about our feelings. They wanted us to understand why we believed what we did, not just to follow blindly. This open communication, according to Joanna, is one of the things that bonded her and her siblings to their parents. Far from being distant or disconnected, Jim, Bob, and Michelle fostered an environment where the children felt heard and valued, even if they didn't always agree with everything their parents taught. The importance of faith. Joanna acknowledged that one of the central themes in her family's life has always been their Christian faith, which has informed many of the decisions her parents have made. While this has been a point of contention for some viewers, Joanna believes that her parents' faith is often misunderstood by the public. For Jim, Bob, and Michelle, faith is not just a set of rules to follow. It's a guiding force that helps them make decisions, raise their children, and navigate the challenges of life. Joanna explained that faith was never forced on the children in a way that made them feel trapped. Rather, it was a constant source of strength and support for the family. People think that our faith is restrictive, but it's actually the opposite, Joanna said. My parents' faith gave them the freedom to live their lives with purpose and intention. They weren't perfect, and they'd be the first to admit that, but they always wanted the best for us, and their faith was at the center of that. The media's role in misunderstanding. One of the reasons for the widespread misconceptions about Jim, Bob, and Michelle Duggar, according to Joanna, is how the media has portrayed them. Over the years, the Duggar family has been the subject of countless articles, interviews, and social media commentary, with much of the attention focusing on the more controversial aspects of their lives. Joanna believes that the media often highlights sensational stories or conflicts within the family, while failing to show the more nuanced and positive aspects of their upbringing. She feels that the media tends to simplify complex family dynamics into black and white narratives that don't do justice to her parents' efforts to raise their children with love, discipline, and faith. Moving forward and learning reflects on her parents' influence and the misconceptions surrounding them. She also acknowledges that no family is perfect. Like any family, the Duggars have had their share of struggles and challenges, and Joanna is candid about the fact that there were times when her parents made mistakes. However, she believes that their intentions were always rooted in a deep desire to provide a safe and loving environment for their children. Today, as Joanna navigates life as a mother and wife herself, she carries with her many of the lessons she learned from her parents. While she may choose to parent her own children differently in some respects, she holds a deep respect for the values and principles her parents instilled in her and her siblings. I think every parent does their best with the knowledge they have, Joanna reflected. My parents taught us to love, to respect others, and to live our lives with purpose. I'm grateful for that. And even though I might do things differently, I know that their love and guidance shaped who I am today. Conclusion. A more balanced perspective. As Joanna Duggar speaks out about the misconceptions surrounding her parents, It's clear that she wants to offer a more balanced and nuanced perspective on life in the Duggar household. While Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar may not be perfect, Joanna's reflections suggest that much of the public's criticism of them stems from a misunderstanding of their intentions, values, and the complexities of raising such a large family. Through her words, Joanna hopes to show the world that her parents are more than just the figures portrayed on television. They are loving, well-meaning individuals who did their best to raise their children in a challenging and ever-changing world. By offering this deeper insight, Joanna is helping fans and critics alike to see her parents through a more compassionate and understanding lens.